A really nice feature of the calculator is that all three rows are color-coded for one reason. The red row only works together. That's your whole quilt. The blue row is your blocks, and the purple row are all the little squares that make up your blocks. So we can't mix them or accidentally mix them. So that's why we have them color-coded. So we've just gone over our top row, which has given us all the basic fabric we need for our quilt. Let's go on to the second row. The second row is our block row. This is a row that if we had gone to class and made up some blocks and taken them home and lost our directions, we can find out how much sashing just by entering our block size, how many blocks we have, and what size sashing, and it's going to give us our yardage. Maybe we found some hankies of grandma's and we'd like to sew all our hankies together and put some sashing in between. We can find just the sashing yardage. Or we want to make that baby quilt and we want to applique on it. So we want to enter the size block we need, how many across, how many down, and it will give us our block yardage, how many strips to cut, and how wide to cut them. So let's get started. Let's say we're going to have finished size blocks of 12 inches. So we enter our block size as 12 inches. Then we lay them out. And remember, we're never without our paper and pencil. So we've drawn our little picture. So we're going to say we have 12 of them. So let's do 3 across and 4 down. And today I think we'd like to try some 2-inch sashing around them. So enter 2-inch sashing. Now, if I only needed to know my sashing yardage, as in I only needed to know my border yardage, I could just press the sashing key and by the 3 presses get the yardage, number of strips, and how wide to cut them. Or I can use the last key. The last key, as in the red row, answers the questions, that gives the answers for everything we've entered. So let's try using the block yardage key. The first time we push it, it says we need 1.5 yards of total block yardage. That's to make these 12-inch blocks. And it's going to remind us that it's going to make 12 of them. There's enough fabric. And if we cut 4 strips out of that yardage and cut them all 12.5 inches wide, we'll have enough fabric. And then by pushing it again, it says sashing. We need 7/8 of a yard of sashing fabric. We need to cut 11 strips, and we need to cut them all 2.5 inches wide. And by doing that, we have the answer for all of it. At any time, we could enlarge or reduce the number of squares. We can leave our block size at 12 inches, but now maybe we'd really rather have 4 across and 5 down. We still have 2-inch sashing, but now by pushing the button, we get our new yardage. Now we need 2.5 yards, and will give us 20 squares. We need to cut 7 strips, and still 12.5 inches wide. And now our yardage for sashing is 1.25 yards, because we may have more blocks. And we're going to cut 17 strips, and we're still going to cut them 2.5 inches wide.